The alienation from Nahjul Balagha was not limited to me or to those like me. It spread throughout the entire Islamic society. Those who understood this book, their knowledge did not go beyond the translation of its words and the explanatory notes for its sentences. The spirit and the content of the book were hidden from the eyes of everyone. Only recently, it may be said, has the Islamic world begun to explore Nahjul Balagha. In other words, Nahjul Balagha has just started its conquest of the Muslim world. What is surprising is that one part of Nahjul Balagha, in Shia Iran as well as in Arab countries, was first discovered either by atheists or non-Muslim theists who revealed the greatness of the book to the Muslims. Of course, the purpose of most, or all of them, was to utilize Nahjul Balagha of Imam Ali, peace be upon him, for justifying and confirming their own social views. But the outcome was exactly the opposite of what they had desired. This is so because, for the first time, the Muslims have realized that the views expressed grandiloquently by others have nothing new to offer, and that they cannot surpass what is said in Nahjul Balagha of Imam Ali, peace be upon him, or translated into action through the conduct of Imam Ali and his disciples, such as Salman al-Farisi, Abu Zar, and Ammar. The outcome was that instead of supporting the pretentious views of those who wished to exploit Nahjul Balagha, Imam Ali, in his book, defeated their purpose. Nevertheless, it must be accepted that before this had taken place, most of us had little knowledge of Nahjul Balagha, and it hardly went beyond appreciation of a few sermons about the virtues of piety and abstinence. Nobody had yet recognized the significance of the valuable epistle of Imam Ali to Malik al-Ashtar al-Naqi. Nobody had paid any attention to it.
Nahjul Balagha is a collection of sermons, precepts, epistles, and aphorisms of Imam Ali, peace be upon him, compiled by Sayyid al-Sharif al-Radi almost 1,000 years ago. However, neither the recorded words of Imam Ali are confined to those collected by Sayyid al-Radi, nor was he the only man to compile the sayings of the Commander of the Faithful, peace be upon him. Al-Masudi, who lived 100 years before Sayyid al-Radi, in the second volume of his work, Muruj al-Dhahab, writes the following: At present, there are over 480 sermons of Imam Ali in the hands of the people, whereas the total number of sermons included by Sayyid al-Radi in his collection is only 239. There are at present two kinds of work that must be accomplished with respect to Nahjul Balagha, so that Imam Ali's thought and views on various important issues expressed in Nahjul Balagha, which are still relevant and are direly needed by the present-day Islamic society, may be brought to light. The second kind of work required in relation to Nahjul Balagha is researching the sources and the documents relevant to its contents. Fortunately, we hear that Muslim scholars in various parts of the Islamic world are devoting themselves to undertaking both of these important tasks. This book is a collection of a series of articles which originally appeared in the journal Hikmat-e-Islam during 1351 to 1352, 1972 to 1973, now presented to the learned readers in the form of the present book. Formerly, I had delivered 5 lectures on this topic at the Husayniyah Irshad. Later, I took up the idea of writing a series of articles to deal with the subject in greater detail.
From the outset, when I chose to call it Sayr Dar Nahjul Balagha, meaning a journey into Nahjul Balagha, I was aware that my attempt would not deserve to be called more than a journey, or a short trip. This work by no means deserves to be called a research. I neither had the time nor the opportunity to conduct a research, nor did I consider myself fit for undertaking such a task. Moreover, a profound and comprehensive research study of the contents of Nahjul Balagha, an exploration of the ideology of Imam Ali, peace be upon him, and besides, a research about documenting its contents is the job of a group, not of a single individual. But as it is said, that which cannot be attained in its entirety is not to be abandoned entirely. And since humble attempts open the way for great tasks, I embarked upon my journey. Unfortunately, even this journey was not completed. The project that I had prepared for, and which the reader shall find mentioned in the 3rd chapter, remained incomplete because of many preoccupations. I do not know if I will ever get the opportunity to continue my journey through Nahjul Balagha, but it is my great desire to be able to do so. Nahjul Balagha is a magnificent collection of the inimitable sermons, invocations, wills or pieces of advice, epistles and aphorisms of the commander of the faithful, Imam Ali ibn Abu Talib, peace be upon him, compiled by Sayyid al-Sharif al-Radi, may Allah be pleased with him, about 1,000 years ago. Time and years have not only failed to diminish the impressive freshness of this work, but have instead added constantly to its value as new concepts and ideas have emerged therefrom.
Imam Ali, peace be upon him, was undoubtedly a man of eloquence. He delivered a large number of speeches that became famous. Likewise, numerous sayings containing philosophical wisdom were heard from him. He wrote many letters, especially during the days of his caliphate, which his admirers recorded and preserved with remarkable interest and zeal. Al-Masudi, who died in 346 AA, 955 to 956 CE, who lived almost 100 years before Sayyid al-Radi, who passed away in 406 AA, 1115 CE, in the second volume of his book titled Muruj al-Dahab, under the heading Fi dhikr luma'an min kalamihi wa akhbarihi wa zuhdihi, says the following: that which has been preserved by people of Imam Ali's sermons delivered on various occasions exceeds 480 in number. Imam Ali, peace be upon him, used to deliver his extempore sermons without any prior preparation. The people recorded his words and practically derived benefit from them. The testimony of an informed researcher and scholar like al-Masudi bears out the large number of Imam Ali's speeches that were extant during his time. Only 239 of these have been handed down to us in Nahjul Balagha, whereas their number, as mentioned by al-Masudi, was more than 480. Moreover, al-Masudi informs us about the extraordinary dedication and ardor of various groups of people in recording and preserving Imam Ali's words. This dedication reflects the profound impact that Imam Ali's teachings had on his contemporaries and the generations that followed. His words were not merely heard and forgotten. They were treasured, recorded, and transmitted with meticulous care. The fact that so many of his sermons, letters, and sayings have survived through the centuries is a testament to their enduring value and the deep reverence in which he was held. The compilation of Nahjul Balagha by Sayyid al-Ravi was a monumental effort to gather and preserve the most significant of these teachings. However, as al-Masudi's testimony indicates, much more of Imam Ali's wisdom existed than could be included in a single collection. This means that even today, there are likely many more of his words waiting to be discovered and studied. The work of researching the sources and documents related to Nahjul Balagha is therefore of great importance, as it can help to uncover additional teachings and provide a more complete picture of Imam Ali's thought and its application to various aspects of life. Imam Ali's eloquence was not merely a matter of style. It was a reflection of the depth of his knowledge, the clarity of his vision, and the strength of his faith. He spoke to the hearts and minds of his listeners, challenging them to think deeply and to live righteously. One of the most remarkable aspects of Nahjul Balagha is its timeless relevance. The issues that Imam Ali addressed are as pertinent today as they were 14 centuries ago. His teachings on leadership, governance, justice, and ethics provide a framework for addressing the challenges faced by contemporary Islamic societies. His emphasis on the importance of knowledge, self-discipline, and social responsibility resonates with the needs of modern Muslims who seek to navigate the complexities of the modern world while remaining faithful to their Islamic heritage. The revival of interest in Nahjul Balagha in recent years is a positive development. It reflects a growing awareness among Muslims of the need to return to the sources of their faith and to draw inspiration from the teachings of the al-Bayt, the family of the Prophet, peace be upon him. This revival is not limited to academic circles. It is also evident in the increasing popularity of Nahjul Balagha among ordinary Muslims who seek guidance and solace in its teachings. However, much remains to be done. The challenge is not merely to read and understand Nahjul Balagha, but to translate its teachings into action. The true value of Nahjul Balagha lies not in its eloquent language or its profound ideas, but in its ability to inspire positive change in individuals and communities. To achieve this, Muslims must engage with the text on a deeper level, reflecting on its meanings and applying its lessons to their daily lives. This requires a concerted effort from scholars, educators, and community leaders. It also requires a commitment from individual Muslims to study Nahjul Balagha with sincerity and dedication. By doing so, they can unlock the transformative power of Imam Ali's teachings and contribute to the renewal of Islamic society. Nahjul Balagha is a treasure trove of wisdom that has the potential to guide the Islamic world through the challenges of the present age. Its teachings on justice, compassion, knowledge, and self-discipline offer a path toward a more just and harmonious society. By rediscovering and embracing the messages of Nahjul Balagha, Muslims can revitalize their faith and build a better future for themselves and for generations to come. The journey through Nahjul Balagha is not a journey that ends with the reading of a few sermons or the study of a few chapters. It is a lifelong journey of exploration, reflection, and transformation. Every time one returns to Nahjul Balagha, one discovers new layers of meaning and new insights that were previously hidden. This is the beauty of the book, and this is why it continues to inspire and guide people across the centuries. The alienation from Nahjul Balagha that once pervaded the Islamic society is now being replaced by a growing recognition of its importance. As more people turn to this source of wisdom, the hope is that the spirit and content of Nahjul Balagha will once again become a living force in the lives of Muslims. This is the goal that we must all strive for, and this is the legacy that we must pass on to future generations. May Allah guide us all to the straight path and help us to understand and implement the teachings of Nahjul Balagha in our lives. Ameen.